Today's hearing is about the families who lost their health care plans. It's about the taxpayers who were swindled. It's about the bureaucrats who mismanaged this program. And it's about the local governments who had to cut budgets from firefighters and schools to make up for Washington's failures. Everyone in this room, Republican and Democrat, has a duty to our constituents to get the whole story. The Affordable Care Act's co-op program created 23 not-for-profit health insurers using $2.4 billion of quote-unquote loans from the taxpayer. Less than a year into operation, the financial condition of many of these co-ops was unstable at best. As today's report being released by the committee shows, CMS's own private consultant, Deloitte, warned that this was the case. Despite this, CMS continued to disperse loans and then began awarding additional loans to these troubled co-ops. Since then, 12 of the 23 have gone out of business, representing a co-op failure rate of more than 50%. Sadly, 740,000 Americans covered by these 12 defunct insurance companies were given $1.2 billion in so-called loans from the taxpayer. As we've suspected for some time, this subcommittee's report concludes that these loans will never be repaid. When these companies failed, they imposed varying degrees of disruption on their enrollees and the markets in which they operated. Unfortunately, the mess caused by this program began in my state with the abrupt failure of Cooportunity Health. Cooportunity was headquartered in Iowa, but it operated in both Nebraska and Iowa, and the newly created insurer was given a total of $145 million of taxpayer-funded loans. Things seemed to be going well at first when Cooportunity announced that they had signed up far more enrollees than they had anticipated. However, despite ample funding and more than enough enrollees, on December 16, 2014, as people were signing up for their 2015 coverage, the Iowa Insurance Commissioner placed Cooportunity under a supervision order. 1 month later, in January of last year, the Iowa Insurance Commissioner said that rehabilitation of Cooportunity would be impossible, and he sought a court order for liquidation. After just 1 year of operation, the new not-for-profit health insurer would collapse completely. When Cooportunity failed, 120,000 enrollees, a majority of these being Nebraskans, had their coverage canceled and were forced to find new insurers. Because the collateral damage from Cooportunity's failure does not end there for Nebraskans, Cooportunity, of course, owed millions of dollars, as Chairman Portman has mentioned, to doctors and hospitals for claims for its enrollees that will not be repaid. To address the insurer collapse, the state of Nebraska has a guarantee fund that pays claims in the event of insurer collapse, such as Cooportunity's, and the guarantee fund is financed by assessments on other insurance companies selling similar plans in our state, prices that were at market rates, unlike what Cooportunity offered originally, and that's why they had far too many enrollees, because there was not competence to run this program. To help pay for Cooportunity's unpaid claims, insurers in Nebraska were assessed fees totaling about $47 million last year alone. It should be noted that this sum was not enough to cover Cooportunity's losses and that the guarantee fund had to take out a loan. As Cooportunity has no remaining assets, it is improbable that the guarantee fund will ever be repaid this $47 million. In other words, it will be assessed into other insurers in the market. These insurers had to pay Cooportunity's outstanding bills, and there's no reason to believe that Cooportunity will ever pay any of this money back. As a result, Nebraska tax revenues will be decreased by $47 million because these insurers are subsequently able, over a 5-year period, to reduce their tax liability to the state in the amount of their contributions to bail out Cooportunity. This means that my state will have much less revenue to pay for priorities like education, roads, firefighters, and other local government issues. Thus, Nebraskans are going to have to pay for the Cooportunity failure again, first as individuals became uninsured, and now as taxpayers have to bail out Cooportunity, on top of the $145 million that they, as taxpayers, made in federal loans to Cooportunity. As previously mentioned, 11 other co-ops have now failed, likely initiating variations on the same story across 11 more states. Moreover, depending on the viability of the 11 remaining co-ops, it could happen in more states in the years to come. Indeed, of the 11 co-ops that remain in operation, we know that as of February 25th, CMS has placed 8 of the 11 under corrective action plans. In addition, updated financial reports show that conditions here have gravely worsened for 4 co-ops with data available from the fourth quarter of 2015. Despite this mess, CMS has to date offered very little in terms of substantive explanation for the problems. I've been questioning the department since last May about all of this. After only 1 failure, we now have 12 and potentially more on the horizon. I've sent 4 letters to your agency over the course of this period and have been working alongside Chairman Portman and the ranking member to request documents to unearth the cause of this debacle. HHS owes all Cooportunity enrollees and all federal taxpayers, and particularly taxpayers in my state, an answer. I look forward to this hearing, and I hope for some new and actual substantive answers from the witness panel today. Thank you.